watching 80s music twin ranked, talking about 80s movies. So you'll notice in our videos, I mean, we're up to 40 something.
80s movies twin ranked?
We're not doing the switch on the channel. But you'll notice, you noticed if you watch our videos, that we highlight songs that these artists sing from movies, which I don't know that ever happens today. It does. Like Black Panther has a rap song that was popular on the radio, but it's far in between. Lady Gaga and what was that movie? A Star is Born.
Star is Born, yeah.
Yeah, so it's very few and limited. But back in the 80s, it happened all the time. So we highlight songs from movies.
And so does the radio. That's all the radio plays is songs from movies.
Well, on various artists. Like Kenny Loggins, that's all you hear is his movie songs.
Right.
Yes, I understand that.
Simple Minds, you only hear the Breakfast Clubs.
Yeah,
Don't forget about you.
I hate that. But however, so we want to give you your what movies are your favorites? Since we highlight music, okay, we're just gonna focus on the 80s.
And we're gonna do like a top 10 list.
Unlike the song, now we have 80s artists for music, right? But we actually do discuss movies from different decades because they didn't only do movies from that decade, right?
Yeah.
But
these movies will only be from the
80s. Started in 1981 to 1989, and we're gonna give you what our top 10 list is. Twin ranked. He ranks some, I rank some, combined. There you go. And so, what I would say is, if you ask us, hey, recommend a movie we should watch from the 80s, this would be our 10 recommendations.
Yeah, and most likely, you've seen all these.
That's the interesting part that I like about doing the movies separately, is because, no, that's not the case. Because
We'll find out.
Not every movie from the 80s has a song that's sung by a popular 80s artist.
I'm saying most likely they've seen these movies.
They've seen the movies, but we haven't probably discussed all of them.
Right, no.
Now like just a couple weeks ago we did, if you want to put this video out this week, so we're doing this because it's Memorial Day and we got extra time, so we're going to put some extra videos out. Now you have to put it out. So, but we just did Glenn Fry a few weeks ago, and he obviously had a big hit from Beverly Hills Cop.
Who knows if that's on our top 10 list?
I know, we might be surprised if it is or isn't. But, there's some, we've discussed that movie, but we haven't discussed others, so... starting, we'll do our top 10 list first, and then we'll go back and say, well, how did this not make it? I'll show you what movies was on your list didn't make it. Movies on my list. More movies did not make it from my list. So most of these are from your list.
Yeah, good. That's how you
good. All right, so and you definitely won't agree with these. Matter of fact, it's really nostalgia is what it is, because I've gone back and watched some of these movies. Yeah. Depending what crowd you're in, it might not be as pleasurable as it was when we first saw it. But these are recommended for your viewing pleasure.
Yeah, there are movies I've seen since that I'm like, wow, we used to like that all the time, and now I'm like.
And here's another thing, we are not trying to give you AFI's top 100 movies of all time. No. Okay? And what I mean by that...
I could care less if it won an award.
What I mean by that is if I don't know, do video stores exist anymore? I know there's Redbox.
Yeah, Redbox is about it.
Yeah, but if you were to go to a place that has a lot of videos, like the library, let's just put the library, and there's a stack of movies right there. Okay. And I asked this to the UPS driver that shows up every day this week. I said, okay, so you got Gone with the Wind on AFI's list. Citizen Kane, right? What's another one like that?
Oh, you're trying to ask him if he's ever seen them?
No, not whether he's seen them. Okay, you got Gone with the Wind, Schindler's List, Citizen Kane, or Cobra. Sylvester Stallone, Cobra. Not a great movie, but my question is, which one are you taking home to watch?
Oh, right.
It's Cobra! So... can't always be the 1001 movies you need to see before you die. It's got to be something that is going to be, even you can put your brain on the couch and then watch the movie.
Yeah, but those are 1001 movies that you only want to see once before you die.
And there are movies like that. I understand, yes, even then, but I've seen some of those movies that make Yeah, I could have died without ever seeing that one.
I remember seeing, I believe they played Gone with the Wind in school.
Did they?
In parts.
I don't remember.
And I just remember thinking it was so boring.
Yeah, and even colorizing it didn't help. So, anyway,
but there are some good black and white movies.
Yes, there are. Like my
favorite is probably the same as yours. 12 Angry Men.
12 Angry Men.
12 Angry Men.
Yes, with Henry Fonda. Obviously, it's been redone.
There's a remake, and I watched it. Not good.
No, it's not good. And they have to update it by adding
foul language. Yeah.
So no. Anyways, let's get to our top 10. So number 10 be a movie you and I saw at the theater together.
I had said this during one of our. I think when you brought up Popeye.
Okay.
Actually, it's probably a video we haven't done. It's probably the movie songs. We haven't released those yet. We did some videos that we'll eventually release, and you've been brought Popeye up, and I said, was that the first movie we saw at the theater? Do you remember me saying that?
Yes, and I don't remember.
That was like 81, I think. It was in the 80s.
Well, yeah.
Muppet movie. We saw that at the theater. That was 79, so maybe that was.
There's probably a bunch of movies we don't remember ever seeing at the theater. Maybe when our parents took us when we were little kids, like Apple Dumpling Gang. I remember.
Did we see that at the theater?
I don't remember if we went to the theater. If we did, because you know obviously got these dollar. We used to have dollar theaters where they'd replay movies from the past. So I don't know. Anyways, number 10. Always got there.
There's gonna be a lot of rabbit trails, probably.
I know that we saw this at the theater together. This was Fletch, and this is one of those movies. I watched this with 2 other people.
It's
maybe
not
5 years.
funny.
You've got to be in the right crowd to watch this movie.
Yes.
But when you saw Chevy Chase at his best, obviously Caddyshack was his best, but a little bit more unrecommendable due to some scenes.
Yeah.
So we recommend Fletch, and it's almost like he's a spy. He's a reporter.
Yeah.
But it's like a spy movie in itself, and it's got twists to it. And music-wise, we've already discussed it because we mentioned that the
Harold Faltermeyer,
guy who did Beverly Hills Cop, did the music for this one, and so the music definitely recommendable to go get the soundtrack, which I've listened to before.
Yeah, and I think a lot of his banter, it might be ad-lib too. That he just...
I would not be surprised.
Yeah, that he talks in it and says probably things off the cuff.
Yeah. I think George Wendt wasn't even a big star yet. He was on Cheers, but not a big star. And he had bit parts in this. Gung Ho he was in. So, yeah. And Gina Davis was in it. She had a very small part. But yeah. So Fletch... Definitely go check it out. I used to think that was one of the best car chase scenes ever.
Yeah, and I've seen it
chase.
since, and nostalgia's still there, but I'm like, ooh, not as good as I remember it. But in my mind, it's still a good movie.
Right, and I can't remember if I liked the sequel as much, Fletch Lives, but I would probably...
Oh, no, it's the sequel is not as good. It's got some memorable scenes, but not...
Right. Okay, so... Chevy Chase movies, among his 5 best, Fletch, definitely.
Yes.
All right. Next one up, a couple on here I'm surprised we even are recommended. Midnight Run. Done by the director of Beverly Hills Cop. So there's our second time we're mentioning it. It's not in our top 10 probably. But Midnight Run. That, to me, before Meet the Parents, showed Robert De Niro's comedic skills.
Yeah. And I don't know that we knew who Robert De Niro was when we saw it at the theater.
I think we did, but we probably didn't see most of his movies.
Yeah.
Because, he's in stuff... What were we in? What were our age around Midnight Run? 1988. We were 18.
Okay.
So we probably saw some of his movies, but, I wouldn't rank Godfather as one of my favorite series out there, but he was in that. Matter of fact, my other favorite movie of his is The King of Comedy. A very underrated movie, and that might be funny too.
I do not like Sandra
Bernhardt.
Yeah.
But Jerry Lewis is pretty good in there, not playing himself. So he was the straight man for once.
Yeah.
But Midnight Run, because again, just like...
John Ashton from Beverly Hills Cop is also
John Ashton, same director, goes and gets familiar people.
Yeah.
And we did check, he is alive.
Charles Grodin passed away a couple years ago.
Did he?
Yes.
Charles Grodin?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I think I remember that. But Charles Grodin, I'd recommend this is his best movie. Some people like Heartbreak Kid. I don't like that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and the banter back and forth between Grodin and De Niro. That's probably the highlight of the movie.
Probably.
Oh, and who's the other guy the gangster chasing him? Do you remember that guy?
I don't recall his name.
Dennis Farina.
Oh, yeah.
He is hilarious in that, and he's the reason you got the profanity to it. And he's like, do this, do that, do something, give me a sandwich. I think he said, told this one guy. So that's a movie you gotta check out. Midnight Run. That's our number 9. I don't know, does it matter where we put these? Normally
Not really.
Yeah. Okay. Number 8. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Everybody knows this one, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's always brought up.
Well, I think people who've seen Deadpool, they've seen the closing scene where he
he's
did
like,
a
why he's
takeoff
still
of
here,
it.
yeah.
It's used on political things. You showed me that one where politically they brought Dr. Fauci back, and then they used the Ferris Bueller
like,
clip.
why are you still
Go
here?
home.
Yeah.
Was that the first movie ever to use a clip after the credits? I mean, why did we stay?
I don't know if it might have been.
Why
Maybe.
did we stay after the
We probably heard that there was something on the end.
Okay. Yeah. So who?
Okay, so Ferris Bueller's Day Off has the end credits scene, and it's been in several things like Dr. Fauci was on there, and he was on.
Yeah.
We have. It's not on a clip. It's on a specific channel that we watched.
Right. And again, Deadpool did it.
Yeah.
He did his own take on it. I think.
You know why we stayed?
Why?
Because the end credits
Had the yellow song
oh yeah
with the guy on the bus.
with Principal Rooney.
That's right.
In the bus,
That's
so we had
right.
to stop. We watched that whole thing.
So that we probably were thinking something else was coming even after that ended.
Probably because of that.
You're right. But this was a John Hughes movie. Most people know John Hughes from Home Alone. Believe it or not, he made good movies before Home Alone.
And he has passed away too.
Yeah, he passed away too, yes. And he wrote a lot of movies too that he didn't direct. But this would be one of his. He did direct this one, right?
I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure.
But he directed Breakfast Club, 16 Candles.
Candles. Most people.
Pretty in Pink, I think.
Most people would say The Breakfast Club is better. I would say Ferris Bueller's Day Off is better. Yeah, and then I think those two people who take.
Yeah, why did we think this was so clever? Was it just the scene where he fooled his parents and I think he was still home when they opened the door? And
He had the room.
Yeah.
He had the room full of stuff.
Yeah, and I was thinking about this, okay, how long did he spend? Okay, first of all, they came in there when he was in bed.
Right.
And he pretended to be sick. He did
Yes.
the thermometer under the light.
Right.
Like, oh, you got a big temperature. At this point, nothing is set up. So after they left the room, he had to set up this elaborate thing with the doorknob and the pulling in, and there's a thing and the snoring. Yeah, so I don't know if we just liked that how he was fooling everybody.
You know, I didn't realize it until just now. Okay, so Ferris Bueller's Day Off, they had the parade at the end.
Yeah.
And he sings Twist and Shout.
Yes.
I forgot we just did Survivor. One of the girls in the Survivor video was on the float.
Oh.
Didn't mention it. There you go. All right, so that's number 8, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Number 7 would be Superman 2. To me, Superman was probably the first legitimate superhero movie out there.
Yeah, it's where you actually could believe he could fly.
Right.
Well done. I'd say Superman 2 is definitely better than Superman 1.
Yeah, Superman 1, it was a setup movie. Obviously, very slow in comparison. But I loved that they had a trio of villains. You know, why one's a mute. Was that ever explained? That's funny. And he was the
Yeah, because he can talk. He's been in several. He didn't really talk as Jaws. Maybe he did in the second Moonraker.
No, that wasn't Richard Keel. That's not Jaws from James Bond.
Richard Keel is not the.
No, you gotta watch it.
Why am I thinking it was?
You gotta watch it again. That's not Richard Keel.
I swore it was.
I know it's not Richard Keel, but it's still, he's a comedic, just like Richard Keel, he's a comedic guy. We'll have to look what his name is. Break. But when they first get to the planet, it's funny. Zod can zap a snake, and then his was weak.
Yeah, and he's whimpering. Yeah.
And I think was that Clifton Webb? That was the James Bond sheriff in that car.
Yeah.
So
I just like when Superman finally comes out. They're in the Perry White's office building.
Right.
And Superman finally is like, Zod, would you like to take it outside? And Gene Hackman's character is like, oh, thank God, get him!
Yeah, he can make even parts in a funny movie. He can make this good. Yeah. What else? And that was to me, that was a clever ending too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And there's two different versions out there. Well, there's probably more than that. Yeah, because Richard Lester and Richard Donner both have their own versions.
They switched directors midway.
For some reason. I don't know why. First movie with Vernon Dursley from Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, he is one of the
terrorists on top of the Eiffel Tower.
That's right. And hardly recognizable.
Yes.
And then I remember, probably the first time I remember any scenes from this movie is when it was on Siskel and Ebert. We had our picnic actually out on the patio, and we took a TV out there and watched sneak previews.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that movie. Yeah,
they showed the Niagara Falls scene.
Yep, I remember that.
All right, so that was number 7. Next one up. Romancing the Stone, which I think this one put Michael Douglas on the map.
He was a
star. He was a TV star.
Yeah, Streets in San Francisco with Carl Malden.
His previous 2 good movies, he was a bit player.
He was China Syndrome.
That was
he in Coma?
He was in Coma. Okay. But both of those, he was a secondary player. He was not the lead, and this was probably his star turn.
Yeah, and Van had a famous dad, Kirk Douglas, who was 101
when he died. And that was just a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I would say I think I liked that it made. This was one of the few movies that makes looking like going to South America is a pleasurable thing.
Oh, it's fun.
Yeah, you got these movies like Last Blood with
very simple movie. All it really is they're just being chased, and it's going from one scene to another set piece where they're just being chased.
Yeah.
Somebody, they're following us, go here.
And I can't remember, would this have been Danny DeVito's first movie outside of
No, he's been in films. He was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh yeah, you're right. That was his debut. I don't know if he wasn't on Taxi.
Taxi yet? No, probably not.
So, and he was a villain, but he was a funny villain. So a good movie, Romancing the Stone. And you'll notice, I wouldn't say all of them, a lot of them.
It had a sequel called Jewel of the Nile, which was
not good. No, it was not. But it had a memorable song. This first movie didn't.
Now, because of Romancing Stone and Jewel of the Nile, which had Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner, and Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito put them two together, and he directed
War of the Roses.
Yes, and I like that movie.
That was a good movie. Yeah. So Danny DeVito, he directed quite a bit of movies.
Yeah.
Did he direct Throw Mama from the Train? I think so.
Maybe.
Yeah. And he's still directing. He's not dead. Okay.
No, they know him. Our audience would know him now from
It's Always Sunny in
Philadelphia.
Yes. Okay, number 5. This would be believe it or not, it's our only Star Wars movie. The Empire Strikes Back.
The only reason Star Wars is not on here is because Star Wars is not 80s.
That's right, correct.
When George Lucas redid it? That was probably in the 90s, right?
1999 is when The Phantom Menace came out. So
I'm saying when they put the original.
You're right.
They did the original trilogy.
He touched it up and put it back in theaters. And he added some creatures and stuff in it. I remember going to the theater and I was one of 3 people.
Yeah, and you'd be very hard pressed to get the original before he did the updates.
Gotcha, you're right. But Empire Strikes Back would be one of those movies. Obviously, imagine this: Star Wars, as good as it was, this supposedly improved it.
The thing is, Return of the Jedi has more memorable scenes,
I actually,
but it's not. It's more goofy and
yes,
childlike.
it is. I know for a fact when it came out, I loved Return of the Jedi more than Empire Strikes Back.
Because of the beginning scene with the barge and the
Jabba the Hutt's thing that, and we collected obviously Star Wars action figures, so that would have been part of it with all the creatures in there. And then when he did the redo, he ruined that scene with the singer running up to the camera with the big schnoz. Come on, that ruined it. And now if you can't find the original, that definitely is crap. But Empire Strikes Back though. We're not on Return of the Jedi. Empire Strikes Back. I think what stands out to you?
Yoda.
Really, Yoda stands out to you?
Well, there's the fight scene with Darth and Luke.
Yeah, you're right. There are many memorable. I think the thing that stood out to me was the snow planet.
Oh yeah, at the beginning. Right.
Because you had the big machines that looked like dinosaurs.
And it's got to be the worst technology. They're not practical at all as weapons.
No. Right, yeah. Who built those?
I know.
Thinking,
they're really slow and people can attack them really easy. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just intimidating. That's why.
They're big, yeah.
So anyways, but still, and it's just like Steven Spielberg. He had the trilogy for Indiana Jones. It's like the middle one has to be the darkest in the series.
Yeah, and that director also directed Never Say Never Again with Sean Connery.
Irwin Kershner. Yeah, and I think he's dead.
He did that, yes.
Yes. Right. Wait, Never Say Never Again.
Never Say Never Again. Not officially a James Bond canon with broccoli and
obviously, because it came out the exact same year as another James Bond movie.
Yeah.
So, why not? That's our next movie. Octopussy is our number 4.
Yeah, my favorite of his. I just think it's the chase scenes. Got some stupid scenes too.
Definitely got some. People don't like when him doing the bomb. I think at the end because he's in a clown outfit.
Yeah,
people hate that he's in a clown outfit. But it was
best beginning.
I think it's the best beginning.
Yeah, when he gets up to at the end, he goes to the gas station.
What's it called? The Astro Jet. I remember that on a commercial. Yeah. They showed the whole thing. Before the movie came out, they actually showed the entire scene. Well, not everything, but the plane.
Oh, you're a Toro too.
Yeah. And my favorite thing, my one favorite thing of it.
I said the best beginning of Roger Moore because there might be other better beginnings.
Possibly, maybe Pierce Brosnan had a few.
Goldeneye, I love Goldeneye when he jumps. The plane's going down, he jumps after it, and somehow gets into the
right. No, but so you remember the scene where he's walking, and this car slows down. They're like, "Come on!"
And they go, and they laugh at him. Yes, that's hilarious.
That's funny that would happen.
Yeah.
James
How did he get so quickly into the gorilla suit in the train? That's
right.
I don't.
Yeah.
Or how did he get so quickly out of it?
Yeah.
His eyes are there, and then suddenly the sword, and he's already up the ladder. Yeah.
Right.
So some scenes just don't make sense. So I think that's the first movie, James. I could be wrong, but I think it's the first time we saw another 00.
Or at least acknowledged it. 002.
We actually saw his character.
I'm sure there were movies that had something previous, but being 13 when it came out, somehow we got into the. Nobody else was with us. Wasn't rated R. It was probably PG. That's why we got in. But I do remember those. Remember those other kids running to the front row for that one scene?
Oh, probably, yeah.
Stupid. Okay, so Roger Moore, he would be our favorite James Bond.
Yeah, most people say Sean Connery, but we grew up with Roger Moore, so.
Right, and when you look at today's James Bond, people who like Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig is too serious, but I do like his beginning of Casino Royale.
But that's the only
He's chasing that guy at parkour and that kind of stuff.
Parkour, and why do you need to go up and do that?
He could have stayed on the ground.
Right, that's what I don't like about that scene, but it is a cool scene to watch. And I don't know, but I think I heard Daniel Craig actually say Austin Powers ruined James Bond movies, right? because now that he was so outlandish, James Bond could not do the things that we saw back then. You can't make the villain that's outrageous and stuff, which is why now that all those movies are serious, and to me worse because now they're on par with the Bourne Identity.
Yeah.
Mission.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Mission Impossible I think is now outdone.
Yes, definitely.
The
Fallout is ridiculous.
Right. Fast and Furious. They're
on that track.
They're on that track.
Now they jumped the shark.
They
with that
did.
last
They
movie.
did when they went to space. They ruined their series. So
Space,
they
no.
need to quit.
When they're trying to be Tarzan with the car. Have you seen the scene when it catches the bridge?
Yes.
Somebody put out there.
But there's obviously scenes that would have never happened in previous ones I've seen, but that one just was like ridiculous to where like now you can't even enjoy the movie because it's beyond ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but I do like the memes saying that the next series, because of gas prices,
We'll be out of bicycles.
because they can't afford gas for their cars. All right, so that was number 4. Was Octopussy, the only James Bond movie? What's your second favorite James Bond? Or is that even your favorite?
Or Roger Moore.
Is that your favorite of all James Bond?
Yeah,
movies?
yeah, that's my favorite.
Okay. Any close seconds?
For Your Eyes Only is pretty good. I've watched that 4 or 5 times. And
For Your Eyes Only is good. You know what I hate about that?
No.
They took away the music from all the other ones. The actual James Bond type music, and they made like disco music.
Oh yeah, when he's skiing is stupid.
That ruins it.
Yeah.
The music ruins it. So that's why I don't have it on my recommend list.
Which James Bond movie has the Beach Boys? What was that?
Oh, View to a Kill.
View to a Kill.
Yes.
At the beginning.
But I'd still watch that over.
No, but I think when they're going down into the ship below to get the computer,
yes,
and the one guy in the robot thing looking thing,
that was For Your Eyes.
that was pretty intense.
Yep. You thought James Bond would die.
Yeah,
He did die finally in the last movie. All right, going up to number 3. This would be a surprise. This ain't our number 1, but there's a reason why. Back to the Future. This is my second favorite movie. You don't like this apparently as much as me, or you just like the other ones?
I rewatched it and it had a lot of things I didn't remember. I'm like, oh, that makes it a little darker, and just things I just
Well,
didn't remember.
the brother taking his mother to the prom, that makes it dark immediately.
No, it wasn't even that. It was I couldn't tell you what scenes they are right now, but watching them, I'm like, oh, I remember this. Yeah.
But there was too much. That would be the ultimate perfect time travel movie, right? Because when he got back, it actually changed things, which is what time travel should do if it were possible, which I don't think it'll ever be possible. God won't let something like that happen. Just like nobody's ever going to become invisible, because that only leads to somebody doing something bad. He won't let that happen. But
I mean, it was such a new take on the one thing everybody always says is, why is Doc and Marty they friends? How'd that happen?
that is right.
I mean, you buy it when you're in. You're like, yeah, I can see that, but you have to go back and think, how does it begin?
Yeah. Now, obviously, Power of Love, I've said, is my favorite. Well, you even said it.
Yeah.
It's our favorite 80s song. So obviously, Back to the Future has to be up there as a good movie. And I think I liked that this was pretty much Michael J's transition from TV to movies. This one. And
Was Teen Wolf before this?
No, Teen Wolf was after it. I can't imagine what this movie would have been like with Eric Stoltz.
Yeah.
I still can't. Not in our top 10, that's for sure. Okay, so Back to the Future. And obviously, I don't think both sequels were in the 80s. Back to the Future 2 was, and then 1990 was Back to the Future.
Yeah, we talked about the sequel with the Jaws thing, and
Right.
I had a lot of problems with Back to the Future Part 2 anyways. Especially when they go back to the past and it's changed. And then Doc explains to Marty the different timelines. Well, if that's possible, how did they get the time machine Back to the Future for them to get there? It shouldn't have happened.
Right.
But also, I don't understand the concept of we need to go to the future to change something. Then you go back to the past, and then it's still gonna happen. Oh, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Doing the future doesn't change the past. Doing the past changes the future, not vice versa. Anyways, but I do like about the second one. We're on the second one now. Is that you had two Martys and two Docs in the same scenes. That was cool too.
Well, two Lorraines also.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but she was dropped off.
Well, no,
she wasn't in a scene with herself.
Yeah, but no, she saw herself and passed out, remember?
Oh, yeah, you are right. Okay. Yeah, not the same age. Like, both Docs... Well, Doc wasn't the same age, but he looked the same age because, obviously, he's the same age.
Well, that was when they went to the past.
Yes, that's where he's crawling up the rafters, but also doing the guitar from the first movie.
Oh, and he asked himself, hey, I need a 916. He's like, right. You mean a half?
Changed corrected him. Yeah, okay, so that's number 3. Number 2. Again, another rated R movie. Like, how'd this fire? You can't help it. Die Hard.
Die Hard, yes.
Right? And this, again, just like Michael J. Fox, this put Bruce Willis practically a movie star, no longer in TV. Moonlighting was a good show.
Yeah.
But...
till this last season.
till the last season. Well, I even remember, when they finally had Sybil Shepherd's character and his get together. And I remember the Beacon Journal, the paper in our city, asking people to submit the next script. What happens after this? I remember, and they'd actually letting fans say what's going to happen next. That was stupid to me. And I read something like, oh, this ruins the show. Anyways, but I think that actually did that ruin the show?
Just about. There was this baby episode that was a horrible episode.
Right. So he had to move on, and Die Hard was a good...
I do remember hating Mark Harmon's character.
In what?
In Moonlighting, because he started dating, and you're like, no, wait, Bruce should be with her.
I know you watched... Did you watch them all? I never watched every single episode.
Since I have since.
Yeah. So
and you can watch them all, and I believe they're all on YouTube now.
Right, and Die Hard jumped the shark too. That series went well. I mean, he had a son, so he had to do one. But the fourth one is underrated. The one where they went to the computer shutdown of a city.
Yeah.
That's a very good.
No, it's when they went to Russia. I think it was Russia.
And his son got involved.
A Good Day to Die Hard. That was when.
Yeah. Right. I don't know if there's another one in there. Probably not, because he just retired from acting.
Yeah, he has some sort of almost like dementia. So he's not going to.
So that's sad. All right, that leaves us with our number 1, and believe it or not, we agree on the number 1, and that would be the start of Indiana Jones.
Yes.
It would be Raiders of the Lost Ark. For some reason it's called Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
They started doing that with all of them. They just put Indiana Jones at the beginning.
Which is not, it's Raiders of the Lost Ark. And cool beginning. If you don't know the guy that tried to double cross Indiana Jones.
Alfred Molina, who's Doc Ock. I've told that to people and they're like, no. I'm like, yeah, actually has another role. He's the guy that owned the monkey.
Oh,
later on, he had 2 roles.
Okay, and cool beginning. Yeah, well, I like all the movies where they start with the Paramount logo, which I don't know, does Paramount exist anymore? It's a mountain.
Yeah,
turns into a real mountain from where all three of them.
All 3. I don't know if the 4th one did it.
I think it actually did. It turned into that Prairie Dog Hill.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
And that one jumped the shark. I think there's going to be another movie. They had to include aliens in the last one. But there are scenes in that last one that's memorable. Everybody loves to pick apart the part where he survives a nuclear blast inside a refrigerator.
Yeah.
But I think I like that.
I mean, if you wanted him to still survive it, that was the only way that we would accept.
Right.
So.
Yes. Yeah, but... and I think, how do you say the kid's name? Shia LaBeouf, or I don't even know how to say it. Yeah, exactly.
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf, is that? I don't know. So he's obviously not going to take over because he's got, issues being a person.
Yeah.
Right. That's our top 10 list, Raiders of the Lost Ark. I just remember when that came out. You had George Lucas the Star Wars series, and all these Steven Spielberg movies that were smashes every time they came out. Combining those two forces, it's almost like it wasn't fair, director-wise, right? So that had to be a hit, and then the Dark One, and then I love they add James Bond to the third one, which was clever. As his dad. So let's we're time traveling now. Back to our honorable mention. We wanted to get our top 10 list in case you're watching this. You wanted to figure out what the 10 movies I should rent from the 80s. Now let's go back.
Rent. Well, they actually do.
Wherever you get
even if they're doing streaming, they gotta pay for it. So yeah.
Yes. So let's go back to some of the movies that didn't make our list that I think should have and you think should have. Let's do yours first because they'll be quicker.
Okay.
I think your number 3 movie was The Blues Brothers.
That's one of my. In fact, that's because I hadn't gone through the movies to look to see what's my favorite movies.
Right.
But your son asked me what's your favorite movie, and I said Blues Brothers. I've seen that probably 10 times, and I love it.
Yeah. I
Never gets old.
Oh, I remember when we were in high school, that elementary school teacher we talked about with Bruce Springsteen.
Okay.
Somebody asked him what critics thought of Blues Brothers when it came out. I think it was already passing him. I don't know why they were asking him, like they maybe didn't follow the paper. He said critics loved it. So
yeah, I think they did.
And again,
it's a Christian movie.
Because of the nuns.
No, you remember I had a shirt that said "On a Mission from God."
Mission from God.
Remember the light in the church?
Yes. And Steven Spielberg, does he have a part in that?
There's several directors.
Yeah, so Steven Spielberg is the auditor at the end. When they put their money on for the donation to the nuns, he's the one that gives them the receipt, I think. So we just mentioned Steven Spielberg, that's him.
Frank Oz is the guy at the beginning giving Elwood Jake his
right,
everything that he gave away to be in jail. So
I do like the premise of let's get the band together. That makes it automatically road trip movie. Right? And then you're going to various places and different songs as you get to those places. So I do like that premise. Reminds me of Kill and Kill Again, the movie we like. Where they're going up and picking up the different parts to make the group of crime.
Yeah, they should have died 5 or 6 times in that.
Yes.
The girlfriend, come on, she blew up the building.
She actually had a bazooka, right?
She had a rocket launcher and went to the bazooka to the building. They just dig themselves out of it every time.
In case you're wondering, that's Carrie Fisher.
Yes.
From Star Wars.
She did a flamethrower at the phone booth. They explodes. They go up. Then all they are like, look at all the change we got.
Oh. Yeah. Well, that's how you know it's a mission from God, right? Protect you. But I like the cops that were chasing him, and come on, they
just had a whole bunch of people.
They die for sure, right? The guys when their car goes, it makes no sense that their car goes up that high for one, wherever they were, and then it plays the what's that song called? The Valkyrie. It's a Valkyrie song. Yeah, and then they had to. So no, I like Blues Brothers and the fact that their car is a police car. We mentioned this in Bruce Springsteen because Peter Gunn is part of it. Okay, your other song or other movie that didn't make it, Ruthless People, and I do like Ruthless People. And I
just got a ton of clever gags. I hadn't seen it in a while, and I watched it a couple years ago. And I just forgot about things. I'm like, oh yeah.
I want to watch that with my wife, but I know she'll make me turn it off in the middle of watching it. But there is my favorite line is the phone call. You know what I'm talking about?
To the guy, the chief,
Danny DeVito answers the phone, and is Debbie there? Won't tell you what the joke is, but I love that joke. It's like, that's where you hope you get a crank call just so you can say that. Anyways, and I do like Bill Pullman. That's his debut, right? And
plays an idiot.
He's like, this may be the dumbest man on the planet. All right, so those are your 2 that didn't make our list that were in your top 10. Mine, The Naked Gun to me, probably the funniest movie. I ranked this movie over Airplane. And we like the police files from the Police Squad TV series, obviously.
Yeah.
A lot of those were incorporated in Naked Gun. This Frank Drebin, probably one of the best characters ever created by Leslie Nielsen, and who used to be a straight actor.
Yeah, yeah.
Amazing that he changes his persona.
Airplane, I think, was his first one that he started doing.
When he was older, he changed his persona. Who does that? All right, so my next would be Return of the Jedi, which I actually like. I think I even I put this one at 6, Empire Strikes Back at 8. So I do like Return of the Jedi better. I had to, just because of nostalgia. Then Indiana Jones 3, that's in my top 10.
I love the desert scene where he's trapped.
The tank.
Yeah, the tank.
And he's got this thing hooked. Yeah, there's a...
but that's an impossibility. Try to figure out how that hooked on there.
Yeah.
And he's hanging. That wouldn't happen. But.
No, but even that good of a movie, there's the one thing that I don't like, and that's when he was on the tank and the tank goes down.
Oh yeah,
he couldn't have survived.
Yeah.
Suddenly climbs up. But when you watch it, there's no way he could have survived. Anyways, all right. And then next one, I actually had 2 James Bond movies on my list. My other one on my list from the 80s, not necessarily my second favorite, but License to Kill. Timothy Dalton, his first one, Living Daylights.
Yeah, I liked it.
It's got parts. I didn't like it greatly, but License to Kill ending, I love. Where the tankers are doing their things and the planes and it's near misses. And I love that ending. So that'd be my second favorite, obviously. I put that.
Benicio del Toro is one of the henchmen.
Was that his debut?
He's a henchman when the cop guy is being lowered into the water of the sharks. He's one of them helping.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be Felix Leiter, and that's actually the guy who played Felix Leiter. Twice, yeah.
All right, and then my last one would be a movie you just recently watched, didn't watch it in the 80s, what the heck? Ghostbusters. I think if you watched it in the 80s.
If I had nostalgia, maybe I would have put it higher.
I think if you would have watched it way back when, it might have been in your top 10 this time too. So Ghostbusters is on my list. Second one's not as great. Obviously, they're riding around in the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
No. But Afterlife was actually pretty good. Ghostbusters Afterlife. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil anything. There actually was an animated TV series about it.
Yeah. The
Slimer was a good guy.
Yeah, he's a character.
That's like, and when look at the 80s, they had a lot of things they did like that. Godzilla had his own animated series where he was a
Remember Shmoo?
Yeah.
The Shmoo, he's like a mushroom kind of character.
Right.
You look like he had a high voice.
Anyway, so those would be the movies that didn't make the top 10
we recommend all those movies.
All those movies. Now, even Beverly Hills Cop was slightly outside the top 10 of either of ours, but didn't make our list. But still recommendable because, again, I think that put Eddie Murphy on the map. Well, Saturday Night Live did. But Movie Star, that put him on the map. All right. So there you go with our movies for the 80s decade. Maybe some time down the line we'll
talk about some more.
We'll break down our actual top 10s per year, maybe someday.
Or we'll talk about specific movies in general.
Yep. All right. Till then, maybe this video will be on this week. Maybe never. Till then, we have another movie thing, Guilty Pleasures coming up too.
Yeah.
So we don't know when we'll do that, but all right. Have a good one.
Bye.